political leaders are but merely pawns in a much bigger game, which is being played out by the puppet masters, pulling the strings from out of the shadows. As you can see here, we have two different world leaders, yet they are both reading from the same script.
The world judged the Iraqi regime was a dangerous aggressor. In the interests of world peace and regional security, the community of nations required Iraq to surrender its offensive arsenal, its chemical and biological weapons, and abandon its nuclear weapons program. Iraq agreed to comply.
The world judged the Iraqi regime to be a dangerous aggressor. In the interests of world peace and regional security, the community of nations expelled Iraq from Kuwait, required Iraq to surrender its offensive arsenal, its chemical biological weapons, and to abandon its nuclear weapons program.
What did Iraq have to do with what?
The attack on the World Trade Center.
Nothing.
Iraq's
continued defiance of the community of nations presents a challenge which must be addressed.
Presents a challenge which must be addressed.
And that Great Seal of the United States has on it, Novus Order Seclorum, a new order for the centuries, for the ages, forever.
A new world order.
They're protesting the egregious violation of federal law. There's an act called the Logan Act, which says that you cannot meet with foreign diplomats without congressional oversight. And I think that that's really the main key here is people are like, hold on, why are there 130 of the most powerful world players in banking, mining, oil, food, media, defense, and politics?
Everything we hear through the media is hand-picked information, all the way down to our local news.
In consumer news, economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step.
Well, it's okay. You can admit it if you have bought an item or two or maybe 10 for yourself.
It's okay. You can admit it. You've bought an item or 2 or 10 for yourself.
It's okay. You can admit it if you bought an item or 2 or 10 for yourself.
It's okay. You can admit it if you bought an item or 2 or 10 for yourself.
It's okay. You can admit it.
It is a big idea. A new world order. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
And one of the ways it will drive the change is through global governance and global agreements.
The new world order, about a defining moment in history.
About the new world taking shape around us.
And this present window of opportunity during which a truly peaceful and interdependent world order might be built.
And the hope that each of us has to build a new world order.
A new world order can emerge. A new era.
The best chance to begin to establish the new world order. And that's why the stakes are so high.
Denied. In the center of the stage tonight, businessman Donald Trump.
That there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out.
Let's get it straight. They don't want to give it straight because the press are liars. They're terrible people. But here's an idea. So Mexico is sending lots of people. And by the way, they're coming from all over the world, including the Middle East. Why not? Come in. Come on in. We're stupid. We'll take care of you. We'll pay. Get sick, we'll take care of your hospitalization. What kind of a plan do you want?
We have very stupid people in our country negotiating for us, and we have leaders that don't know what they're doing.
We need a leader that wrote the art of the deal. The Iranians are great negotiators. The Persians are great negotiators. And we have people that are babies. It's like a chess player, grandmaster, playing against a checkers child. No, that's what it is. We give them, think of it, a nuclear scientist, and they won't give us our hostages back. Spent $1 million building a soccer field. $1 million on a soccer field? How do you spend $1 million doing a soccer field? You have a level piece of land. Throw them a ball, let them play soccer, if they have to play at all. This wave of globalization has wiped out totally our middle class. it doesn't have to be this way. We can turn it around, and we can turn it around fast.
We see that Obama accumulated more debt than all previous 43 presidents before him. On the 30th of July, 2017, it was reported that the United States national debt had fallen to a surprising extent in the 7 months since the inauguration of President Donald Trump. It was reduced by astounding $103 billion to be exact.
The people who rigged the system for their benefit will do anything and say anything to keep things exactly
the jobs,
the way
incomes,
they are.
And security of the American worker will always be my first priority. I am skeptical of international unions that tie us up and bring America down. Under my administration, we will never enter America into any agreement that reduces our ability to control our own affairs. We will no longer surrender this country or its people to the false song of globalism. We will keep our jobs and bring in new ones. There will be consequences for the companies that leave the United States only to exploit it later. They fire the people, they take advantage of the United States, there will be consequences for those companies. Never again. I will be America's greatest defender and most loyal champion. We will not apologize for becoming successful again, but will instead embrace the unique heritage that makes us who we are.
How about this for a headline from Davos, Switzerland, where the world's elites are gathered? China's president is leading the globalists against Trump.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I find this amazing. The leader of China's Communist Party rallies Western business executives in opposition to capitalist America. You ever seen anything like this?
No, I've never seen anything like that, and I've been familiar with China for a long time.
As long as I hold this office, I will defend America's interests above all else. We reject the ideology of globalism, and we embrace the doctrine of patriotism. As President of the United States, I will always put America first. The United States has great strength and patience. But if it is forced to defend itself or its allies, we will have no choice but to totally destroy the
so-called deep state, which is a conspiracy theory that government employees loyal to Obama and Hillary are working behind the scenes to derail his presidency. Now, does this seem a little odd? I mean, it's been around a long time, this theory of the deep state. But this, I mean, based on what the Oxford Dictionary says, which is, you know, it's a body of people, typically influential members of government agencies or the military, believed to be involved with the secret manipulation or control of government policy.
It's worth noting that 48% of Americans think the deep state exists, according to an ABC This Network poll.
How many?
48% of Americans, and both sides believe it, both.
Media. Now, Lionel, what are people referring to exactly when they say deep state?
Deep state is the hidden, behind-the-scenes group of military and intelligence, permanent structures that basically secretly manipulate and actually work the actual government. It's a shadow government. You can call it whatever you want, the ruling class. And what you're seeing is this perfect conflation of what they call deep state and mainstream media together, trying to work to get rid of him. He poses an existential threat. Look at the press conferences. Because it's in their best interest to get rid of this president. You have everybody from every avenue calling for charges of treason, impeachment.
So filled with this much hatred. Why? Our country's thriving, jobs are booming, prosperity is soaring, and the future has never looked brighter for the USA. The so-called resistance is angry because their horrible ideas have been rejected by the American people, and it's driving them crazy. Crazy. They're the ones, honestly, that have been driven crazy.
It is my honor and privilege to announce that I will nominate Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the United States Supreme Court.
I think the first thing that makes a good judge is independence, not being swayed by political or public pressure. That takes some backbone.
Will your client, Christine Ford, be willing to testify in public to the Judiciary Committee?
The answer is yes.
I really would want to see what she has to say, but I want to give it all the time they need. Judge Kavanaugh is an outstanding person, and I am with him all the way. In my opinion, it's totally political.
I think all of us have probably done things we look back on in high school and regret or cringe a bit. We're talking about an allegation of sexual assault. I've never sexually assaulted anyone.
I was pushed onto the bed and Brett got on top of me. I believed he was going to rape me.
This could not be a case of mistaken identity.
Absolutely not.
Strongest memory of the incident, something that you cannot forget.
Uproarious laughter between the two, and they're having fun at my expense.
But I have never done this to her or to anyone. I am innocent of this charge. This confirmation process has become a national disgrace. This whole 2-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit, fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump, revenge on behalf of the Clintons.
I thought her testimony was very compelling, and she looks like a very fine woman to me. Brett's testimony, likewise, was really something that I haven't seen before. It was incredible.
You are allowing someone who is unwilling to take responsibility for his own actions to sit in the higher court of the country.
I think it would be proper to delay the floor vote in order to let the FBI continue to do an investigation limited in time and scope to the current allegations that are there.
How did you get home? I don't remember. How'd you get there? I don't remember. Where is the place? I don't remember. How many years ago was it? I don't know.
The president's comments were just plain wrong.
To discuss something this sensitive at a political rally is just not right. It's kind of appalling.
On this vote, the ayes are 50, the nays are 48. The nomination of Brett M. Kavanaugh of Maryland to be an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States is confirmed.
These liberal pundits, they're haters, but they're so angry because you've upset their entire way of life. But it's going to be, sooner or later, it will be exposed. The policies of our political opponents have brought about only failure, destruction, and humiliation to our country. Look at what happened.
Why do you oppose Brett Kavanaugh?
I think he's a liar, and I think he's a gross dude. I don't want him making decisions, and I don't think he's neutral. Yeah, I think that her allegations are believable.
But the problem is that all of the witnesses she named disagreed with her story. Witnesses that she named as being there, as knowing about the circumstances, disagreed with her.
One of them said they believed her, they just didn't remember the incident. That's not saying they don't
But
believe
it
that.
contradicted her testimony. She submitted a written affidavit saying that she has no recollection of this incident taking place. Same as Mark Judge. So when all of the witnesses named by Christine Blasey Ford say that they have no recollection of this happening, doesn't that seem a little bit unbelievable?
No.
Even when there's calendar evidence suggesting that Brett Kavanaugh was not at parties during any of these times that he is accused of being there.
I don't trust that.
So you don't trust all the written hard evidence, and you're believing you want to tarnish a man's reputation forever based on one allegation.
Yeah, sure.